We are live. This is the market update. I am your host, Bill Noble. We are so back. Matter of fact, don't call it a comeback because we never left. We've been here all through what Coinbase Institutional called crypto winter. This is a public service announcement from the friendly neighborhood crypto bros and the market update nation. Crypto winter is officially canceled. Institutional FOMO into crypto will be unbelievable. Retail FOMO into altcoins will be unbelievable. You want a hot summer? You want to get ready? You think the market's up now? Ha! Not so fast. By the way, the YouTube member area, we will be paying a salute to Toby. But if you were in the YouTube member area, you never panicked. I panicked, but I didn't say it. I let Toby say, don't panic. Right down here, right? Are you constantly panicking about crypto? Not worried. Why is crypto volatile? Did crypto reverse course? Bold predictions from 2 weeks ago. We got Patreon and YouTube guys in Tau render like 40% moves. Fetch. Can crypto rise as stocks tank? Which frankly, in my opinion, was the most insightful podcast that we've done yet. And I will leave it at that. And congratulations to Toby Ward, who called the decoupling way in advance and wouldn't stop. It's like, you know what? I don't care if it's leveraged NASDAQ. I don't care what the Wall Street blah, 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 blah says. It's going to decouple. And guess what? It decoupled. So you can listen to the psychic genius in the orange leather jacket, or you can watch some other meatball on YouTube. My big question for everyone is, who are you listening to? Congratulations, Toby. Let's welcome who's here. All right. Bull Runner, welcoming you. Little hat tip to the Eagle King. Oh my God. Watching the market update on a cruise ship. That's like one end of the spectrum. We had one guy watching it in a UPS truck in Brooklyn, another guy in the airport night shift in Amsterdam. Ooh. Wrong again. Hit that like button. Oh, the notification bell, people. Ding. And don't forget to go to the Bitcoin conference where yours truly told you that you should have booked a ticket when there was no reason to buy a ticket. I'm guessing there's a reason to buy a ticket now. Just saying. Please use that affiliate link. Donato, Doji, what's up? The great Santini, Chase, Steve J. Bro, if you could have seen what she said about DeFi today, DeFi and XRP fans would have listened to the podcast. They would have had a cushion next to their chair because they would have fallen off of it at least once. We had to take a commercial break to let the XRP people get off the floor. That never mind DeFi. They fell out of their chairs. Su Young, welcome, if I got that right. Crypto Winter, my AZZ. Ha! Love it. Right? Bob Marsh, Daniel J. with a super chat. He never left. Bob Marsh. Right? Bob Marsh is back. Okay, people, we got a great show for you today. We got PowerPoint. We got everything. Dutch farmer on a tractor planting corn in South Dakota. Oh, my God. Maybe we should start like a competition of like the most oddball places you can watch the market update. On a tractor in South Dakota, that's top 5. Okay, people. Again, Daniel, thank you for the super chat. One testimony to this community is the guys who subscribe to the premium stuff. They come in and they do super chats. Like, what does that tell you? Like, that warms my heart. And if you don't have 5 cents, you hit that notification bell, you're helping the channel. Oh my God. T-Bone. Toby liking virtual, bro. You're about to print. Just saying. Okay. Again and again and again. She told you. YouTube member area. Check it out. Okay, so a public service announcement from our friends at the World Economic that, Klaus is gone, but that doesn't mean they are. And if you want to survive whatever bug-eating fiasco they have for you next, get involved in crypto. 90K is going to look awful cheap when Bitcoin's trading at 250 or some outlandish banana zone number. Because we've been talking to people in the YouTube member area about the banana zone. And the reason it goes to the banana zone is characters like this, or one reason, right? So Jerome Powell, an economist on a hidden camera, saying, Powell's not exactly as neutral as you think he is. And he's either not neutral and not nice, or Toby says he's just boring. Actually, very insightful what she's had to say about Jerome. But needless to say, Jerome doesn't know what he's doing. And Jerome can take all the time he wants to figure it out, really. Because the longer it takes to figure it out, the faster interest rates are going to 1%. Okay? So they got this guy on hidden camera, and you never know about hidden camera, whatever, but Jerome Powell does have a view about the world. He does. And I'm not sure he cares about you. And again, what Toby had to say about Jerome Powell was eye-opening. Oh, we have George Soros-funded, attorneys. Okay. T-Bone with the super chat. Thank you, sir. Now, a public service announcement from Harvard, where they have billions upon billions upon billions that they can't sell. So the New York Post says, we dare you to live without the government funding. And because Harvard had a market sell everything and perhaps couldn't find a bid, they went to court. They're like, oh, what's easier? Market sell our portfolio with no bid or go to court? They went to court and said, yeah, you owe us money. Really? Okay. Well, again, their money is their money and your money is their money. How fun is that? Right? You pay to promote some of the things that they like. Now, I actually do like some of the things that they like, but most of it, no. It's kind of like Mao Zedong, pretty much. Okay, so Bobby says no more Fruit Loops. Just a reminder that they mean what they say. And if you want to hear about the roadmap for the Bitcoin Strategic Reserve, again, that's when I needed my pillow to fall out of my chair when Toby Ward just dropped the knowledge. I mean, it's just unbelievable. Okay, they mean what they say. Oh my God, here we go. Doomberg. Markets are discovering the real Trump trade is sell America. Okay, so let's review. Let's review this. Stocks went down. Crack. Bonds, much to their chagrin, went down and froze. So total. Now, what happens when you have stocks down and bonds down? What happens? Or stocks down, bonds down, rates up. What happens? I'll tell you. Inflation goes to zero. Boom. So, yes, there were unintended consequences that the orange man kind of took it a little bit too far on Twitter. But you know what? They're either a genius or they're accidental geniuses. Because they're going to smash inflation to nothing. Nothing. Now, this has actually happened before. So, because I know y'all love this, we're actually going to go to PowerPoint, and I'm going to show you all you need to know that you ain't going to get anywhere else. I'm giving you some love today. This is 1980. So Ronald Reagan, Orange Man, kind of the same, right? Similar. So Orange Man, Reagan, I'm sorry, people were pretty bearish. The inflation was horrendous. The geopolitics was a mess. So headed into the election of Reagan, equities did great, right? Including his God candle in November. Sound familiar? Then Reagan comes into office, and the Fed chairman, Paul Volcker, he was the bad guy, right? History doesn't rhyme. History doesn't repeat, but it often rhymes. So in this case, Ronald Reagan was the good guy, and a guy named Paul Volcker was the bad guy, because starting in November of 1980, he raised rates 300 basis points. He's like, we're going to 20%. Let's go to 17%. and let's have a recession for 2 years. And meanwhile, Ronald Reagan had to sit there and deal while he just took rates so high that he crushed the economy and crushed inflation. And then once it was over, the market by the midterm elections turned around and was up only back to the election euphoria high. Now, why is this relevant to today? Well, obviously, we have the matching euphoric high and the total collapse. Since we have crypto and things move a lot faster than 1982, this is not going to take 2 years. It's going to take 2 months. 2 months. And in this case, the scary man was the orange man on Twitter, threatening everybody, creating all this scary fear. Everyone's buying gold. The sky is falling. Doomberg is like, oh my God, whatever. He just crushed inflation, just like Volcker did. And he crushed it with his phone. And meanwhile, Powell was just kind of the guy, clearly not likable like Reagan, but he was a bystander. He was a bystander. And then he'll eventually figure this out because, the world can't live without me. And, Toby explained all that. Right. At the end of the day, this is completely the same as 1982. Back in 1982, the sky was falling. The stock market was falling. Rates were at 20%. It looked like the absolute end of the world. Now, I was in 3rd grade at the time. So, I wasn't charting it with the Wall Street Journal back then. I was just probably trying to figure out multiplication tables and penmanship. Okay. But, it's the same thing. It's the same thing. Okay. Holy cow. Look at this. The director of the Bureau says we got to do something about the Fed. We got to educate the people that this is not a public institution. Okay. So if they want to lean on these guys, lean on them. Lean on them. Everyone's like, oh, we got to preserve the Fed's independence. Really? Really? The Fed wants you to eat bugs along with Klaus. I don't think so. I'm not buying it. You know what I'm buying? I'm buying Bitcoin. Want to know what Toby's buying? Bitcoin. And Ethereum and Solana. And rock on. Oh, it's high, too high. We can't buy it. We missed the low. No, you didn't. No, you didn't. See, what else? What else you got here from Doomberg? Right? I don't know. We had something else in here. They're like, oh my God, unpacking the chaos. Here it is. Why Trump unleashed tariff tail. Look at this. Trump just signs away finance. It's over. Whoops. Share screen. It's over. He scratched out everything. Done. Congratulations. You've immortalized yourself at a generational low in Bitcoin where the market goes to 250K, right? Or goes on a line into the Bitcoin convention on May 25th. Which at this point, if you didn't go to, you'd be out of your mind. Okay. So one of the smartest guys I know, DC, equities equals productive finite assets. Okay. People got to get out of government assets. Okay. This exodus out of public assets into private assets is accelerating. So believe it or not, even though Bitcoin just decoupled from stonks, and I'll be showing Patreon members later the history of some of the decoupling. So that'll come with 6th Street Crypto tonight. But needless to say, people are done with equities. And even if they're not done and equities come back, crypto can smoke even higher. Actually smoke even higher because people are done with government assets. They're done. Done. And that triggers Bitcoin. That's why Satoshi wrote the Bitcoin white paper, for God's sakes. Like, we're literally here. We're literally here. You have arrived at the crypto universe. US dollar falls to 3-year low as Trump's Powell threats further dent investor confidence, says Doomberg. Let me explain something to you, people. As I have said, in case you're new to the show, this is a dollar down. This is dollar index quarterly. Dollar down move 1985. Dollar down move 2000. This is Doomberg's dollar crash. 2 down quarters. You're going to have 8 down quarters because the only way out of a debt crisis is to devalue the currency. They need the dollar lower. Our exports are cheaper. People stop hiding in dollar deposits, invest them in other places. The dollar's got to go lower. I was like, oh my God, he's wrecked the dollar. No. Oh, and of course, by the way, since Bitcoin is in the currency market, right? Dollar down, Bitcoin up. Just like gold up, dollar down. And it's amazing that every single headline is about gold. It's like, oh my God, gold, 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 gold. The world is ending. Buy gold. At 1,500, no one wanted it, but at 3,500, it was much more attractive. Right into the premium zone, and boom. Meanwhile, as I've said repeatedly, and I can just be very quiet about this, look at Ethereum. Look, it's a green candle, everybody, and it's breaking a trend line. Woohoo! And where's ETH? Oh, yeah, it's at 1,700. ETH is at 1,700, and Vitalik, which we'll talk about later, is doing a pivot on the Ethereum virtual machine. Oh, and no one's going to want to do DeFi after this big scare, right? No one's going to want that. Yeah, Steve J has been holding DeFi for 3 years, but what does he know? And again, right? Who's big into DeFi? Who's been telling you? Where is all that stuff today? Where is it? It's up 5%. Who cares? She thinks it's going up 500%. Are you long? Are you in the YouTube member area? Are you listening to the magician in the orange leather jacket? I certainly hope so, because I am. Believe me, I am. I got to talk on this thing every day. Okay, so China says those who will play with fire will perish by it. And somewhere in here, we have Bessent making a deal with them. The sooner when the tariff headlines come off, per 2017, we've shown this, when the tariff headlines stop or slow down, Bitcoin doubles. Gold is on fire while stocks and Bitcoin crash. Gold is better. It was. Don't trade yesterday's news. 3 bond stress charts we are watching. So bond market volatility is up. Fear, like VIX, that's move. Everyone is afraid. Bond volatility, it's more scary in bonds than in stocks. More fear. SPX doesn't like bond market volatility. Let me ask you something. What do you do when everyone's afraid? What happens when everyone's afraid? What happens when everyone says it's crypto winter in the middle of a bull market? What happens? What happens when everyone leaves? Like, seriously, there's no one left. It's like it's 5 minutes to 2 a.m. at the bar. Like, there's no one here. No one. Anybody still here? Yeah, Toby and the Eagle King. T-Bone, right? Hobby, Steve J, right? Steve J, hoovering it up with both hands. FT article this morning citing major Japanese investors selling a substantial portion of treasuries. Good. Rates will go up. They'll figure out that Congress has to spend less money. Let me ask you a question. Everyone's like, oh my God, the Fed. Who controls Congress? Who reins in Congress? Congress can just spend $1 trillion every 5 months. Who stops that? Quick answer. The bond market. The bond market. So people want to sell treasuries? Okay, cool. It's like Volcker raising rates in 1980. Stops inflation and makes these guys wake up. You know, they ran Elon Musk out of town, vandalizing Tesla. Bond market's like, okay, we'll take care of it. Don't worry about it. You would have been better off with Musk. You would have been. No mercy from the bond market. Okay, and again, more fear, more legacy assets, 60-40, 60 stocks, 40 bonds. Trash. How fast do you think macro hedge funds and big players are going to buy Bitcoin? They're going to be like, well, you know what? This is below the all-time high, and we're going to buy Bitcoin. We're just going to buy Bitcoin. That's it. And Bitcoin's probably going to add like $250 billion to its market cap. I'm sorry, $250 million. No, $250 billion to its market cap. Excuse me. Because that's how NVIDIA would move, right? The art of the deal works okay if you don't F over your counterparties that buy your government debt. Oh my God, we're not buying golf courses. It doesn't work here. Okay, bro. It's actually working just fine, right? The tariff talk crushed the stock market, crushed inflation. And whether he meant to do it that way or not, and now Bitcoin's just going to smoke higher. Smoke. Then it's going to go to 120. Then he's going to come out with the Bitcoin Strategic Reserve. And then you're really going to see fireworks. Like it was winter and it looks more like alt season, even though Toby won't let me say that word because things rally in sectors, like all the sectors that the Patreon community and me all work together to get on, right? Toby had it. The guys in Patreon had it. I had it. We had it. Just nailed it. Nailed it. Right? Winter turns into alt season. Everyone's like, when alt season? Okay, after winter. 5 minutes after Coinbase Institutional says winter. Right? 1,700 ETH. Yep. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I like this. So Bessent says tariff war with China is unsustainable, and he expects de-escalation at the max fear point. At max fear. Meanwhile, wait, where is it? Look for it. There we go. Coinbase Institutional warns of converging signs that suggest crypto winter is coming April 16th, 2025. Print that bad boy out. Coinbase Institutional head of research in a Tuesday report. Congratulations, David. You are famous. You are famous. You are the Jim Cramer of crypto. Grayscale buying relentlessly because they know what's coming. Will the EU join the economic war against China? Probably not, because the Chinese deflationary tsunami is headed for Europe. Yeah, that's right, folks. I've said the word deflation. So at the start of this year, we told you inflation was bunk. Inflation was topped. Everyone's worried about it, which is the equal and opposite ridiculousness to when nobody was worried about it in 2021. Everyone's worried about Bitcoin. It's like, I don't want Bitcoin at 77 because I'm going to get to buy it at 72 because I'm a day trader, because I don't think anymore. I just day trade because it's winter, right? Holy God, somebody help me. Now, this is such a mess that the Chinese have to print so much money. It's like Japan in the 90s. They're not going to be able to stop the deflation. They have to buy their whole equity market just to keep it from going to zero. Now, does this money wind up in Bitcoin? Yeah, eventually in Hong Kong, maybe, right? Maybe it winds up in Hong Kong when people just go, you know what? We got to buy the Bitcoin ETF right this second, right? Right this second. And just as a reminder, the Orange Man took a lot of money from crypto companies. If you watch the YouTube member podcast today, you're going to know what's coming. And you're going to be sorry if you got off the train, get back on the train. Like, no problem. You know what I'm saying? Like $91,000 Bitcoin Thanksgiving, like last year, was cheap. It's like, oh God, 91. Oh my God, it's great. It's going 100. Now everyone's like, oh, I can't touch it. It's too expensive. I missed it. Okay. Bitcoin bull run in anticipation of imminent QE and rate cuts. Bessent's just going to print, right? He's going to print. When he says that we're going to de-escalate with China, what that means is they're going to print. They're going to take the Orange Man's phone away, and they're just going to go and go and go. Arthur Hayes, I know Team Trump wants a weaker dollar. You know, if the yen moves in a certain way, that could create selling in legacy. Thankfully, Bitcoin knows that if bond yields rise, Bessent has to print. I won't tell you what BBC means. You'll have to look that one up. Vitalik on the pivot. I think I'll make Ethereum more like Solana. Do you have any idea what happens if institutions come in and start using Ethereum? They say it had no use case in 2016. It went from 100 to 1,500. Now they say it has no use case at 1,500, and literally it's radioactive and no one wants to touch it. Okay, gold. Okay, like it's full lampshade on your head over there. RSI at 1980 levels. Oh my God. Okay. Terrifying. Kind of terrifying, to be honest. And it's not wrong. You know, people sitting around thinking about what this means. It means the dollar's going lower. People are like, oh my God, gold's going up. It's the apocalypse. No, dude. No. It's the first leg of a dollar devaluation, and the real devaluation has to get done in crypto because no legacy market, including gold, can do it fast enough. Crypto can do it faster than anybody. You want a 50% dollar devaluation? No problem. Done. You want ETH back at fill in the blank podcast? Okay. You want it at that level? Done. Done. How long do you think it's going to take before everyone FOMOs back in? You know, they have an ETH ETF, by the way. Number one trade this year, to be short, the Ethereum ETF, the Ethereum double leveraged ETF, the indignity that we have suffered. No wonder everyone got bearish. Like, this is what this stream is about. Like, it's just like, listen, get on this thing, show them the charts, pound the table, right? Pound the table. Keep people in the market. Oh, and by the way, they were cutting rates when the stock market was at its high, when inflation was 5%. They're not cutting rates now because? Curious as to the motivations. Like, what's that really all about? Huh. Okay. Okay, Michael Saylor. So it's a very complicated graph I get from my friend Andy. And basically what this is telling you is that this little flashing dot that you may not be able to see, okay, is reflective of the fact that MicroStrategy is worth 1.7 times the Bitcoin that it holds. So MicroStrategy is expensive. Okay. Whatever, right? Nobody, first of all, you can't copy Bitcoin's code with a chatbot. Second, it's hard money. You can't print it. Third, nobody could ever amass the type of position that he's been amassing because he's been buying it for 5 years. So does that make MicroStrategy a special company? I think so. So everyone's like, well, it trades 2 times its Bitcoin value, so I'm going to get short MicroStrategy. Yeah, good luck with that. Good luck with that when he's on stage in May with a government official talking about how every government on the planet, well, I don't want to give it away. Got to watch the member stream. U.S. must find a budget-neutral way to increase its Bitcoin holdings from April 16th. You know, they may work that out. Orange Man makes a few billion from tariffs, has a little jingle in its pocket. XRP fans are back. Got a little XRP action. Toby said something about XRP. I'm not saying a word. Even XRP people won't believe it. Right? Won't believe it. Major crypto firms applying for banking licenses. None of this nonsense where, we can't connect to your Coinbase. Yeah, that's over. That's over. Right? Crypto exchanges, banks, stocks, you're going to be holding it all in one place in a year. Okay, congratulations to Fartcoin and the hedge funds and the algorithms. That pumped it to $1 billion. Some hope for antivirus at 2 million market cap. That, an AI-based coin went to $1 billion. Now, it happens to be the only one that the market understands, and that's fine. There's plenty others, including antivirus, which continues to build in the face of, people not being very nice on Twitter. But the guy just continues to build, like ETH mixers, merch, everything. Private trading coming soon from a phantom wallet. No special decks. Okay. Like, who's looking out for you? Doomberg? Klaus? Jerome? Right? In other words, is Bitcoin at 91K, or is the thing you need for the future cheap AF? Okay, Standard Chartered says Bitcoin could reach all-time high due to concern over the Fed's independence. First of all, the Fed is not independent. It's not. It's never been independent. It hasn't. So let's start with that. Second of all, the dollar has to go lower. It's going to go lower. Whatever story they invent, it's going lower. It has to. Can't spend $1 trillion every 5 months and have the currency be like, yeah. Currency has to go down. But they won't say that. What they say is, oh, it's due to concerns over the Fed's independence. You know, the people who think the Fed is actually independent are like the same people that, you know, believe that it's okay for Nancy Pelosi to run a hedge fund on inside information. It's not okay. You go to jail. I know a guy who went to jail for sitting 3 seats down from somebody who was doing that. He sat 3 seats away from a guy who was doing it, and he went to jail. But Nancy can run a hedge fund. That's not independent. Seriously. Bank of America said doesn't expect interest rates this year due to inflation. Right. And then, of course, all the investment banks are like, oh, my God, we got to rearrange our forecast. The stock market's down. It's a recession. Everything's going to zero. Oh, my God. Yeah, okay. Okay, bro. The bond market is frozen, right? Tariffs will do what tariffs are going to do. The bond market and the stock market have already knocked inflation to zero. It's just a question of time, right? And Wendy O is right on the money. We need rate cuts so people can live. That's why the orange man is acting out on Twitter. Because rates being 150 basis points or 200 basis points too high is destroying people. No one's going to be able to buy a house. But again, what can you buy? What can you buy? The dawn of a new positive era. Listen to Toby. 91K Bitcoin. How nice. Trump Media officially partners with Crypto.com to launch ETFs. You know, the only thing he did wrong was he should have bought it before he nuked everything, right? He should have bought it all at the low or done the strategic reserve before he nuked it. That way, when it turned, he would have been long already on the way down. But, you know, not everybody gets every trade perfectly right. Okay, so JD's got a deal with India. We're making a deal, and we are getting out of town. If you look close at the two lines converging at the bottom, the orange one is SPX and the yellow one is gold. This chart is from the flu lows, and gold is finally about to cross SPX in total return. I wonder what it will look like in 5 years. Okay? Meaning gold could go up, S&P will underperform, and Bitcoin will go higher. Okay? Just in case you missed it, make sure you check out the YouTube member area. Okay? Now, that was a very complicated tweet, probably too complicated, but we don't give it to you that way. It's a podcast. Plus, we got picks. We got the picks and the performance from a week ago, and we got new picks between 500 and 900, which, by the way, are unchanged from when we did the podcast last week. So last week, we got the big picks, big-ish coins. This week, the small coins, they were unchanged, except for Goldfinch, which was up like 50%. By the way, Toby has an opinion on real-world assets after the Ohm debacle. You might be surprised what that is. Okay, going to PowerPoint, just completely going off today. Relentless pressure. I don't know where the bears are, but I'm about to run them out of town, and hopefully they don't block the exit, right? So we can get people back in. Get everybody back in. Here's a little statistic for you from my friend Andy. How dysfunctional is the bond market right now? You know what? Not very. 3 years ago, inflation was 8% and bonds yielded 3%. So if you bought a bond, your interest rate was -5. The money they gave you vanished, basically, plus 5%. Today, inflation is at 2.5% and bonds are at 4.3%, which is exactly where they should be if you want to crush inflation down to 1%. Rates are too high. Rates were too low, and now they're too high. Everyone's worried about inflation. Oh my God, no one's going to cut rates. All these economists, they got to have something to say. There's nothing to say. There's nothing. Just buy Bitcoin. That's it. And then have everything else go along with it, because there's only one place to trade AI. DeFi is like vaporized, right? Like DeFi, people, you know, it's like looking for your sneakers in the closet. Like, I know my sneakers are here. I just can't find them. Where's my DeFi? Where is it? Oh yeah, there's Ethereum. Oh yes, they have 1,400. 1,400. What are you talking about? 1,400, right? Listen, here's Elon, right? Again, more doom, right? America has the lowest birth rate ever. That was last year. 25% of young men, no job, not in school, no job training. What's the solution to that? I'll tell you right now, altcoins. Meme coins? Meme coins, anyone? Let's get it going. Let's get it going right now. It is happening. They declared winter, and then you're going to have Bitcoin season. And then you have to have Bitcoin season. Well, you're going to have to go to the YouTube member podcast to find out what happens next. Year-over-year change in consumer prices. See ya, 2%. Where should Bitcoin be trading? Huh? Like everyone's like, oh my God, 100K is resistance. Where will the mutual funds have to come in? Where will the mutual funds like, oh my God, this asset's completely mispriced. Completely mispriced. And you could add $500 billion to the market cap of Bitcoin, and you could add $1 trillion to the market cap of altcoins. $1 trillion. I mean, Web3 is worth $800 billion. In equities, you can't even floss your teeth with $800 billion. It's radically undervalued until they see 3 days of decoupling. That's it. 3 days of decoupling before everybody goes, oh man, what are we going to do? We don't own it. We can't sell our legacy assets. So what are we going to do? Oh, we're just going to turn around and buy Bitcoin. How much Bitcoin? I don't know. As much as we can get. Go in and buy this Bitcoin ETF, ETH's down, buy the ETH ETF, and they're going to be releasing. There's XRP futures. They're just going to keep issuing this stuff. And they're going to be standing there. Grayscale has a whole suite of products. What do you think these guys are going to do? Do you think they care about price? Did they care about the price of NVIDIA on the way up? They didn't care at all. Okay. Chicago Fed National Financial Conditions Index, according to Andy, is now tighter than when the Fed first tightened. So in other words, when stocks go down and bonds go down and rates go up, financial conditions, the ability for people to do business is tighter, harder. So he should be cutting rates to make it easier, and now it's harder. So why is everyone buying Bitcoin? That's why. Okay. Let's go to TA with the vengeance. First of all, we want the day traders to get completely smoked. Now, here's what people do. The first thing they do when they miss a move is they fight it. So I missed it. I'll short it at 90. I'll buy it back at 85. Maybe. Or maybe whatever dip you get today is the dip. So maybe if it goes from like 91 to 90, that's the dip. And they're going to reset the range, as I've discussed, to 89 to 100. So this could be the low end of the range. But of course, you've gotten so much gratification shorting it. They may continue to do so. And they're free to. But they're going to get smoked, right? You know, Solana breaking DeMark resistance. Where's the next resistance point in Solana? I don't know. Let's try and find one. Like where's what stops Solana? I don't know. How about 256? I mean, this battle at Solana on this weekly DeMark point, I mean, you want to talk about a battle? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 weeks down here. That's a battle. That's a bottom. Not to mention total despair. Winter. It's winter. No, bro. It's a bull market. And in order to have a bull market, in order to have the banana zone, You have to get everyone out. One, people have left. It's like, well, where did everybody go? It's me and Toby and the Eagle King. Is anyone else here other than T-Bone, Steve J, DC Precise, the Great Santini, and all the Patreon warriors and the YouTube members? Where is everybody? So they leave. Then the people who stay get bearish, and then they get short. That's what happens. In a bull market, everyone who's bullish is short when it starts. Every single time. 1982, same thing. 2004, nobody would touch the Google IPO. 2011, it was the end of the world. Everybody should have bought the Magnificent Seven. What is going to stop this when it gets moving? Answer, nothing. Nothing. ETH versus Bitcoin monthly, by the way, has now got the attention of the legacy community. 9 bottom and a 13 bottom. I know I brought it up before, but this has now got people's attention. You got Bitcoin dominance at 64, right into the premium zone. And if you look at Ethereum, it's almost laughable. It's laughable, right? It's like, hey, look, everybody, it's a green candle. You know what I'm saying? It's like, what have you missed? Missed? This is vertical. Speed, magnitude, and direction. High school physics. What goes down a certain way, right back the same way. Can you imagine if that happened? Now, maybe you should go in the chat and ask Steve J why that would happen. He could tell you. Or you could join the YouTube member area. And Toby will tell you all about it. Nothing is going to stop this thing when it gets going. Classic 2017. Because what 2017 didn't let you in. Matter of fact, let's go to 2017. Let's play around with the chart. This was a joke, by the way, when Toby brought this up, right? Toby brought up 2017. Everyone was like, oh, you're out of your mind. Like, okay, bro. Okay. Right. She hasn't done anything except be right. Like nothing. Like crazy. Insane. Saved me. Okay. 2017. Right? Everyone was selling in September. Everyone. Then it gives you the slow banana. Right? Not massively, just slowly. Slow banana. Then they drop it. And then once they get done dropping it, that was the upslope. Now that's when they printed Tether. And I'm not convinced Tether is a great thing to be holding if the bond market still has problems, but that be it as it may. 2017 did not let you in. At first, it put you to sleep. Then it scared you, and then it was gone. People was like, well, I really don't want to pay 5. And then it was like, well, I really don't want to pay 10. And the next thing you know, it was at 20. You think this can't happen with 3 days of decoupling? How long do you think it's going to take for Wall Street and $1 million a year portfolio manager Dinwitz to catch up with the clairvoyant blonde with 180 IQ? How you boys doing out there? How's your mechanized hedge fund doing? Huh? How we doing in the YouTube member area? We're just fine, thanks. We're doing good. Mechanized hedge funds getting nuked while we print, right? While we just print. I like this. Here we go. Doomberg. It's like gel on the brakes. Hard left. Turn it around. Doomberg says Bitcoin acts like a safe haven. No, dude. Bitcoin acts like a different form of money. That's what Bitcoin acts like. Computers will not use fiat. Computers will use Bitcoin. Now, they got to say this because they missed it. They was like, oh, it's the end of the world. No, it's not. No, it's not. It's the decoupling. Just like the lady said. I don't know. What can we draw on a Bitcoin chart that's fun? Well, we have We're breaking out a LuxAlgo. LuxAlgo's putting support underneath the move. Okay. The great Santini with a super chat saying, I'm having a coffee, enjoying knowing that you are the best in the business. Sir, I appreciate that. You know, which I try to keep it humble here. But I very much appreciate that. One day, the trio of me, Toby, and the Eagle King, like they're going to interview Toby one day at like a major conference. They're going to be like, who are you? Toby's going to be like, hey, man, don't call it a comeback. I've been here for years. Okay, you know what? Let's bring something back. Let me see if I can still draw it. Let's bring back hidden pivot analysis. Remember this? Where these guys would like, you know, they'd use Fibs extension work. They draw a high and then they draw it down to the low. And then they would use these Fib numbers to find hidden targets. Okay. So there's nothing boring about, nothing exciting about 103, right? But what about the ultimate hidden pivot target of 132K? Who's talking about 132K? Certainly not Coinbase Institutional. Wow, what do you think his compensation is, huh? What do you think? Coinbase Institutional or... Sorry, I'm being a jerk. Okay, so let's move over and let's talk about Ethereum. No, actually, let's talk about Solana. Okay, so, whoops. All right, so let's do some hidden pivot work in Solana. Why don't we? Let's see what we got. So, Solana, let's do it on a weekly chart. Want some live TA? Let's do it. Okay, so here we go. So first interesting point of information is that the premium zone on Solana weekly is at 300. That's interesting, right? Then you start where the rally started from in September of 23, where they put high-powered money in the system so that the administration could have a Merry Christmas. And then you do the hidden pivot work on Solana. And what do you get? Well, the first thing you'll notice is that Solana is breaking out of a fib circle line. Interesting, right? This was a wicked fake out here. I thought Solana was going to hold. So where can Solana go? Well, let's see. We have 236 is the first hidden pivot target. And we have 431 at 375 up here. Seen any news articles lately about $300 Solana? Yeah, I don't think so. Not even close. Not even close. It's not even occurred to anybody. Now, it might occur to somebody today, right? It might. Boy, this DeFi perp index is hard to bring up. Let me tell you. But we'll try to find it for Steve. Chainlink, synthetics. You know, anything related to futures trading. Where is all that stuff right now? We discussed one of the big coins in the YouTube member area today, right? I don't know how anyone is going to stop institutions when they start pouring in. When they start pouring in. All right, Steve. I'm gonna get this. I'm gonna get it in a special place. Right. Needless to say, Like somebody showed me STX today. Okay. STX, I think, was moving before today. DeFi on Bitcoin coming off the discount zone with gusto. And people are acting like this is not happening. Aave. Okay. This is everywhere in altcoins, by the way. The sideways breakout from the LuxAlgo trend line. Okay. Going over to AI. Okay. Going to AI. Artificial superintelligence token, where you can now do the robotics trade inside crypto, even if it's conceptual, has got support underneath the market at 573 and could be headed for $1. Like, I don't even understand what this was about. What was this decline even about? This last leg, right? Like, what was it even about? Right. And I know DeFi perp. Still looking, Steve. I'll find it. I'll find it. And if I can't find it, I'll get it on Twitter. The bottom line is, like, when you look at real world assets, right? Token up 4%, right? Clearpool was up huge. Maker up 5%. Everything in DeFi. You know what else is coming back? Maple up 16%. This is a major lending protocol. If you have a bond market that's completely seized up, let me ask a quick question. Where are you going to borrow money? Where are you going to borrow money? Seriously, where are you going to borrow money? Oh my God, I found it. Where is it? We got to get it for Steve. There it is. All right, Steve, I'm moving it to the top. There you go. We will never have to torch you with looking for DeFi perp again. So as a piece of public information, okay, DeFi perp is up 6 days in a row because you can't borrow any money in the bond market. Bond market is frozen. So if Jerome's not cutting rates, they're going to have to print, and everyone's going to discover decentralized finance. And to be honest with you, JC with the super chat, sir, I appreciate you. 70% higher to equilibrium in DeFi perp. I saw Bitcoin 2-week chart. Virtual. Not going to lie. We've been talking about virtual in Patreon. Again, the value of Patreon at the community. Community's like, hey, Bill, take a look at it. Blah, 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 blah. I'm like, wow. I turned their requests into a research piece, and it was unbelievable. We bought the low in Patreon. We bought the absolute low on Sunday night when it looked like it was going to go to zero. Okay, what is going to stop this exactly? Like, can you even tell there's a 12% rally in virtuals today? You can't. You just can't. Right? And if you did hidden pivot analysis on this, which would be a laugh, right? Virtuals would make a new high at 5.3. Your initial target would be $2.80. You think this can't happen? It can happen. Especially since I don't even know how you're trading AI anywhere else. Where are you going to go trade AI? I mean, I know I've been saying this. I understand I've said this all the way down, and I don't care because it's going to be right. You're not trading NVIDIA, or you can. You go day trade NVIDIA. The Mo trade is in crypto. It's not in gold. It's not in NVIDIA. It's not. 2-week Bitcoin chart. Fascinating. Let's do it. Okay. So premium zone is, the top of the premium zone is at 115. I'll take that. I'll take it. And amazingly, see, again, sometimes the secrets on these things are these higher time frame charts. Like, look at this, man. Like LuxAlgo, like there's a link down below. I undersell this. The Eagle King's got a QR code for this. It hits right at the top of the line at 74 and goes straight up. Like what is not, but it's just like an accumulation cone. Like what is not ridiculously bullish about that? Crazy. And then somebody's got a 44-cent entry. And then there's Big Rich's coin. Render. I mean, render on a weekly chart, equilibrium is 7. 7. And you have to start asking yourself, like, you know what no one's doing today? No one's asking themselves, what kind of world were we in when render was at 12? How was the bond market doing? It was fine. How was the stock market doing? It was fine. Did Powell really need to cut rates urgently? Did Bessent need to print massively with Treasury QE? No. No. Could you have done AI with NVIDIA? Sure. You could have done AI in every single tech coin because every single tech company was an AI company. And that may or may not be true. Probably not. But what about the AI crypto tokens? What about them? Right? I mean, you can go to Banter Bubbles like we do on the member stream, and you can click the artificial intelligence button. And Toby just goes, We had some, I mean, we were on Tau. Like the only person who did better than Toby on Tau was Big Rich from Patreon. They're all over it, right? Pendle, another DeFi play that's approaching its 200-day moving average. Again, you find a coin, you have LuxAlgo, when you get these downward sloping wedges, right? The reason a downward sloping wedge is bullish, by the way, from an educational point of view, is you take a basketball, fully inflated basketball, football, American football, soccer ball, whatever. Take it. You're in a pool and push it down. Push it down as far as you can. Then when you let go, you're going to have to get your face out of the way because when you let go of it, it's going to fly above the surface. It's going to fly to the surface and go above it. And that's what this is. It's a market that is literally artificially depressed. Why is it depressed? I don't know. Because we developed a winter narrative off a disappointment trade because we wanted the government to moon our bags. We moon our bags to get away from Klaus and Jerome and all those people. That's what our job is. Our job is to get your bag ready for the future. You want to hear the best speech about the future you will ever hear? Really hamming it up today, people. I know everybody on the stream's already there probably, but you know, if you're out there, you got to come see the show. You got to come see the show, man. It's unbelievable. Like today, the knowledge drop, I'm set, man. I mean, seriously, a brief fireside chat. Do you know how stressful it is to do this show when everybody thinks it's going to zero and you don't? Or it's not moving and everyone thinks it's going to zero, which is worse. You got the Eagle King scouring the land. This market is going up harder and faster than anyone thinks. And like these past eras, when you get dips, the stock market goes down or whatever, or the tweet of the day from the Orange Man, which hopefully stops, when they pivot, what are they going to pivot to exactly? For the wah on Twitter all day. What are they going to pivot to? They're going to pivot to Web3. Because if you go back on the charts, because, you know, I'm just waving my hands in the air because I just don't care today. If you go and look at things like Total 3, right? Let's talk about Total 3. Ugh. Total 3. We're talking about total 3. Okay. So total 3 is below its 200-day moving average, which is right at a Fibonacci circle point, which stopped this thing in its tracks. I thought it was going through up here. I really did. I'm like, this is going to blow through because $1 trillion is too cheap. Well, if I liked it at 1 trillion, I would absolutely love it at 800. Remember, this is total crypto market cap without Bitcoin and Ethereum. So what is it? Well, Solana, XRP, Render, artificial intelligence token, maybe Bitcoin Cash, right? What exactly is, oh, DeFi? Oh, did I mention that? Look at total 2. Total 2. So here's your big chance, right? You missed total 2. All right. Well, you know, they got the Ethereum ETF. No one wants it, right? Let's see. So completely too far away from its 200-day moving average. Major inflection point at a Fibonacci circle line 6 days from now on the 28th. So all ETH has to do is go sideways and total 2 will just break out. It's breaking out right now. Like, where do you think this can go? Total 2. Gee, what's everything other than Bitcoin worth? Well, I don't know if Bitcoin's worth 4 trillion or 3 trillion, because that's what the Mag 7 stocks were worth, right? Total 2 can go up 70% to its premium zone, which is basically the election high. Why can't it go there again? Ask yourself this question. Is the case for crypto better now than it was when we were expecting the government to pump our bags? Now it's better because we can pump our bags based on bad government behavior, which is exactly what was supposed to happen in crypto. Then the government will flip. Who are you listening to? Okay. Steve J wants me to put it on a log scale, right? I know where that button is. I've seen it before. I'll try to find it. Let me see. Okay, that's what I get on a log scale. I'll have to practice with it. At the end of the day, folks, here's another decent looking chart that you need to check out. So we've talked about how the dollar is going to go massively lower, right? But the thing is, as Doomberg talks about the dollar hits the discount zone. This is DXY. Okay. So if the gold trade is overdone, if the dollar trade is overdone, if stocks are probably either overdone or no one cares relative to Bitcoin, what's the only trade that they haven't done with Ethereum at its discount zone? I mean, this is the one chart market update, right? It's the one chart market update. And what do you think is going to happen? I mean, money flow hasn't turned yet, but what happens when it does? Like, it's starting to turn in Bitcoin. It's starting to turn. And you actually had people giving up heavy in Bitcoin. We talked about that on all the news articles. And I want to say, I have to look at Solana. You know, I'm live TAing your brains. Yeah. Money flow's been positive in Solana the whole month of April. You got people moving into Solana. You got Solana taking out. Fib circle numbers 4 days ago. Why is Solana up 6%? Bro, this is why, right? SUI, again, it's not boring to me because I was arguing against crypto winter when it looked like the market was going to zero and I wasn't sleeping. I wasn't. So if you weren't sleeping, I don't blame you. SUI, sideways breakout, one dip, gone. The dips, I think from now on, are going to be these things where it rushes up and comes back down that day. Then if you get like a down move in stocks or whatever, you got to take advantage of that. You got to ask yourself like a very important question. Why did this market ever go down? The answer is it went down with stocks because the administration broke inflation. They broke inflation. Whether they did it on purpose or not, they broke inflation. If they broke inflation, rates can go lower. If rates go lower, the only asset, housing, any type of debt instrument, stocks, meh. There's only one instrument. See, that's what's insane, right? If you funnel, like if this is the whole world and all the 60 trillion in pension fund money, and you funnel everybody down into Bitcoin, what's going to happen to Bitcoin and what's going to happen to altcoins? You know who's talking about altcoins? Wait. You know who's been talking about altcoins when nobody was talking about altcoins? I mean, if you watch the podcast, I mean, we publish these lists, list after list after list. Get after this, get after this, get after it. She said, hey, is it too late? And he's like, she's like, hopefully you were shopping 2 weeks ago. Nobody was shopping 2 weeks ago. They're all hiding under their desk. Okay. First of all, if you don't have any money, hit the notification button. The notification button. Join the free Patreon group. I actually plan. There's a lot of people in the free Patreon group. I want to bring them back into the member area. So I'm going to start publishing free Patreon content. If you want to help the channel, if you hit the notification button, that helps us, right? Patreon is our middle tier offering with the 6th Street Crypto podcast, where I give it to you raw and real. We had everybody in on Sunday. I'm proud of that call, and I'm proud of my guys in there as well as I guess we can start calling her the Orange Lady because of that outfit, which, if Bitcoin goes up, perhaps the company could pick one of those up as a part of her bonus package, which I can tell you right now will be a lot larger than the one from the guy from Coinbase Institutional who said we were going into crypto winter. It's not crypto winter. It's the dawn of the new era starting now. I'm Bill Noble. On behalf of the Eagle King and Toby, we will see you tomorrow.